You're pushing it. You're on thin ice.
I'm on thin ice with this podcast, guys, and how my radical honesty is honestly not radical for my life at this moment in time.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Hi, hey everybody! Oh my gosh, you guys, we did it! Joe Biden, president-elect. It feels like it's all happening.
I know. It's happened like 100 times.
I know, but now it's like he's won 7,000 different recounts. And do you think Mark's going to want his... Oh, no, I guess his phone has to be here, right? Because it has the hotspot.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome to Busy Phillips is doing her best. I am currently doing my best amid technical difficulties, including the internet in our rental has gone out. Shantira Jackson also doing her best with some other unspecified technical difficulties.
I had to change some cords around.
Casey St. Ange doing her best wearing a bright pink sweater for those of you at home who aren't on this Zoom call and are just listening to this as a podcast as it's intended. So that means all of you. Casey, are you doing your best today?
Yeah, I feel like I also had technical difficulties, but Laura helped me sort them out, as she
What's
always
going
does.
on? I don't know. Is Mercury in retrograde? Is it just pre-Thanksgiving jitters? Are we afraid of the COVID spikes happening? I don't know.
Scorpio season, and shit gets wild.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it's Sagittarius season now, right? We just got into the Sag. We just left Scorpio.
All of my friends for a long time have been like, I love Sagittariuses.
I love that. Kelly's a Sag.
Emily Beebe, Kelly Oxford, Colin Hanks, my moms, my friend Kate from high school, my friend Jennifer Candypan. Wait, there's more.
Oh my gosh.
Strap in. I'm just going to name people that none of you know.
Who were born around Christmas.
Yeah, we're born Thanksgiving. Oh, Raymond Padilla, my assistant, Raymond Padilla.
Oh my gosh.
Whose birthday is this year on Thanksgiving in 2 days.
Oh, wow.
Aw, happy birthday, Ray.
Happy birthday, Ray.
For those of you listening, we're recording this on Tuesday. Anyway, guys, how's it going this week? There's lots happening. Are you guys good? Is everything good?
I mean, I'm feeling good. I'm tired. I'm happy to have a little break.
Yeah, I didn't even feel this week because I was working, which was, and I was just a work monster. I become a monster when it's very intense work. And that's who I was this week. And everyone was very nice about it.
Wait,
That's nice.
A monster to who? Because we worked with you a lot and I never saw you as a monster. Do you mean to the people in your life, your at-home people?
No. I just feel like when I'm working, I get very specific and pointed about what is happening and what isn't happening. And so maybe I feel like I'm being, tougher than I usually am, maybe like a little shorter than I usually am. So I was definitely like, I will not be available. And, this call can only be 7 minutes long, a lot of that, which is not normally how I am. But
you're like in every rom-com from like 1995 to like 2005. It was just like a lady who was like very busy in an advertising agency. And it was just like, you were like a rom-com protagonist this whole week.
Just
where it's just like, I have a meeting.
Just wearing my suit from Kohl's with my Reeboks and being testy with people.
Yes. And a giant office in a loft apartment.
I feel like it's funny because I feel like that I never had that experience of you like working with you, but I also feel like we had such a different kind of vibe in Busy Tonight in our office. And I had like I was like a little bit tough at work yesterday and I talked about it in therapy today. And like, I think it's interesting. Shantira is probably having a bit of a different, like a similar to Busy Tonight experience on the Amber Ruffin show because you're working with Amber and Dwayne Perkins, who are two of your close friends. And so that vibe is a little bit different, right?
It's really chill. I like it a lot.
Yeah. See, I gather that. And I'm doing another like big television show as an actor, and I'm obsessed with the women I'm working with, and I'm obsessed, with Tina and of course our old friend Eric Gurian, who this morning at like 8 a.m. as I was talking to him about some other thing, he was like, I mean, I've listened to more of the podcast than I probably even thought I would, if I'm being honest. But, it just like makes me, honestly, it's hard for me. It's hard for me because I feel like it takes me right back to that writer's room. And I feel like I should be there. And I'm like, oh, you always do feel like you should be there, Eric.
Oh, Eric, I thought
You're
passed.
not a witch, Eric.
But anyway, but so our first episode, our pilot episode was directed by this woman, Kat Coro, who is incredible and like is a woman I have known for many years.
I've heard of her before.
Yeah. Well, she just got a very big job after like Kat is one of those people that has worked for every like nails on the side of a sheer cliff climbing up with no ropes. Do you know what I mean? This woman has worked her way up. She directed an independent movie I did years ago that Justin Long wrote called A Case of You. And she's just worked, she's hustled and done indie movies and tried to, broken into TV in ways and then like got, some things going and then like whatever. And she's like, she got the next Marvel movie or she's doing a Marvel movie. So she's moving to Atlanta. Yeah. It's amazing. If I knew about these things, I would tell you which one and what it is, but I don't.
I don't think the people
like probably
who
got a Hulk in it
work for Marvel know. Like I think I said this before. It's like everything's a secret. Like if I ever get like abs, you'll know that I'm in a Marvel movie, but I'll never be able to say it. Like if I just show up snatched one day, you'll be like, she's got a Marvel movie. Like everything's a secret.
No, but remember, like, I mean, I like don't even know what they are, and I don't know the difference between like Marvel and DC. And like, remember, what's her name, Gina Davis? When Gina Davis was on Busy Tonight, and she was like, "You're kidding. You know what they are." And I was like, I really don't know anything. But so anyway, I just like, and the pilot, like, this is like a hard show in a lot of ways to do because it's a show that's like about present day people, women, for women in their 40s. And then we have these flashbacks to the 90s that will be like, special effects, but like it's singing and dancing and there's choreography, but like, it's just like a lot, Yeah. And you kind of have to just like, you gotta be on your shit. So anyway, this Kat was like amazing and everything was just, she was very, as women have to be in this business.
She was on her shit.
They have to be on their shit. They have to be better and faster and funnier and like more prepared. I just feel like it's been so illuminating that women have to show up so much more prepared than men do. And it's like, she was like, I've just worked with so many male directors for years and years and years. And they like kind of just show up and they're like, yeah, I got it. It's fine. Like just that's the vibe. And I don't know. And I just like had this real reaction thinking, to be honest about my own fucking experience. I talked about this in my book. This is like in my book in the Cougar Town chapter when I directed an episode of Cougar Town and I was so on it. I had my shot lists and everything was planned out. And I was like really good at it. And I really liked it. This was, 8 years ago now. And when that show was over and I was sort of at this career crossroads, what am I going to do next? A friend of mine who had ran a very popular television show, submitted me to direct an episode of their show, and the studio and network said no. She doesn't have enough experience. She doesn't have enough reel.
But how do you get experience?
Right. But like it does feel like men are given these opportunities and continue to be given these big shots and just are given the benefit of the doubt. Like, never mind the fact that I've been on a fucking set since I was 18 years old. You know what I mean? Like I'm capable and able to do it. But it sort of shut me down in a way back then. And I was like, well, I guess that's just not my path. Like I'm not gonna like, I can't fucking hustle that hard because I'm doing all this other stuff too.
No, you can definitely do it. Like
but at the core of it, I feel like a lot of white men in this past several years will be like, or men with privilege, what am I even supposed to do in this moment? I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. Oh, so I can't even blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, get the fuck out of the way.
Right?
Get out of the way.
I just feel like as women, all I want from dudes with their privilege at this moment is shoot your shot, dude. Fine. You have the thing that gets you in the door. Fine. Then do what every person of color and woman has had to do for the last fucking 100 years, which is be the most prepared, be fucking on it in ways that you can't even think of things, be anticipatory of things that you haven't even fucking thought of yet and think of those things. Like, what they need to do now in this moment is fucking show, if they're going to continue to like be able to move in these spaces, they need to use their privilege in a way that sets an example, that hires women and people of color, and that they are working as hard as everyone else. That's all I want to see. I just want to see the effort.
And we should talk a little bit about why people who are not white men are so prepared, because in our lives, we have to prepare for everything. You know, while someone can just walk out the door, a white guy can just walk out the door. That is not the case for anyone else. You have to prepare for how the world is going to treat you. You have to prepare for what you need to carry on you to make it. So whether it's like tampons or being ready to have someone like come up to you and say something to you that puts you in a weird situation. Like those are the kind of things that people who aren't white males are constantly having to be prepared for, be on your toes for. And, you know, it just extends to everything. It just extends to everything we do in our lives, where we're constantly like pilots. We're like pilots going through that pre-flight checklist of like, do I have this? Am I ready for this? What would I do if this happened? You know, and so back at Busy Tonight, I know everybody had like a good laugh when I was like, when we were getting ready for our first show, let's all close our eyes and walk through what the show is going to be and envision every single part of what we're supposed to do and how it's supposed to go. And let's envision it going correctly. And let's envision if it goes a little awry, how we'll handle it, so that in the moment when that happens, you can just keep moving forward. But not everybody has to live like that.
No, I mean, I think there's a couple things here too. Like, we don't get to fail because we don't get a second chance. I watched this show, The Movies That Made Us, and it's a really fun documentary series.
Yes,
and
I like it.
And they did they did an episode where they went in depth about how Home Alone got made, and the director of Home Alone was this white dude who made a movie that fucking bombed, like 100% bombed. But the writer of Home Alone, what's his name? I always forget, like, important white men. He like did The Breakfast Club too.
John Hughes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was him. Please don't drag me if that's not right. But he had so much clout. He was like, I want this man to direct. And everybody was like, but his movie was bad. And he was like, he's the only choice. And it's like, we don't get to have a complete fucking bomb of a movie and then get the biggest family comedy of all time to get to direct it because some other dude said it was okay. Also, like, I finally got, I had never been on set for like a TV show. So when I did my episode of a television show, I like got to watch like a bunch of directors. So I went down there when they were filming, and I was like, oh, I could do this. Like, I think you have to see it to believe it, but I was like, I could do this. And then I talked to a network and I was like, I want to direct. How does that happen? And they were like, well, we have to have a director who will let you shadow. And I was like, but if you hire only white men who don't let people shadow, you will never, ever, ever have anybody but white men like directing. And I was like, when you figure it out, call me. So I was like, it's not my job to figure out why you only got a bunch of straight white dudes directing for you. But also, you should realize that you shouldn't hire anybody who's not willing to teach someone else how to do this, because obviously that's job security for them, but that's fucked up. So I think that we don't get to fail, and we're not giving opportunities the way that men are to just be bad. Like, men get to be bad on the job. I've never been bad at anything in public. Like,
Shantiri, you know, that's what I always say. I'm always like, I just want the opportunity to fuck up as much as guys.
yeah, because that's the thing. It's just like, once you see, because there's so many men directors, like the first time you get a woman director, you're like, oh shit, you thought the way that they directed was the way that it was done. And then you see a woman and she's prepared as hell, and you were like, wait a minute, you all are scammers.
Well, prior to Busy Tonight, you had never been directed by a woman. Is that true, Busy?
No. I had
had
women directors. I had never had a female showrunner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I'm so lucky, because Meredith Scardino is our showrunner on Girls Five Ever. You guys, the songs.
I can't wait.
I'm so mad that I can't but again, I already almost
pushing
ruined
it.
my life with my.
You're on thin ice.
I'm on thin ice with this podcast, guys, and how my radical honesty is honestly not radical for my life at this moment in time. I need to rein it in a little, is the message that I'm getting.
I'm really excited for this show. Like, I rarely am excited for TV because you know how the sausage is made, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm really excited for this. Like, everybody in it, like, even if I didn't know you, Busy, I was a fan of yours. So, like, it's really fun that every black person knows Busy from White Chicks. Every black person loves Busy. Everybody is always just like, that girl from White Chicks is so funny. So like, even this show, I was like, I like everybody in it already. So like, I'm excited for this, and I don't really get excited for TV, but this is gonna be so fun.
It's also so nice to just work with lovely women who are all super talented, like the best at what they do.
Oh yeah,
you know, like Sarah Bareilles is incredible. Renee Elise Goldsberry. Did you guys see Hamilton? Did you see
Oh
it?
yeah,
I saw it with her in it.
Me too.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
And she's in the movie, and she does it in the movie too. Or the filmed version.
Yeah.
And Paula Pell is like a legend. Like, she's a legend, and I'm obsessed with her. And then Ashley Park and Erica. Oh, wait, what's Erica's last name? I always forget Erica's last name. I'm sorry, Erica. They're both from Mean Girls on Broadway, and Ashley Park's also in that Emily from Paris show.
Emily from Paris.
Emily from Paris. I hate it.
They got mad at us. The internet came and not Twitter. Netflix was like, it's supposed to rhyme. It's like, girl, no, it don't.
That's like when somebody that was like LaCroix.
Was
like, enjoy LaCroix.
Yeah.
No,
it was like,
because remember people were calling it
LaCroix. Yeah, LaCroix.
And then they were like, no, it's enjoy LaCroix.
I also really appreciate it because like Americans always try to make something fancy. So we were like, it must be LaCroix. And they were like, nah, it's not that. And then the one time we did not try to make something fancy, Netflix was like, could you try? And we were like, no.
Oh my gosh.
Erica Henningsen. Sorry, I
did see Mean Girls with the original cast though. So,
so you saw her. Okay, so
yeah,
Erica
I've seen
Henningsen,
them. They were so good.
They're so good. And so like in flashbacks, they're in the 90s band with us. Anyway, I don't want to tell too much of the story, but like they're fucking pros. Like their voices are so good, and it really illuminates for me how I'm a girl who really kills at karaoke.
I
have
really
a nice
is
voice, guys, but I do not know harmonies. I
can't harmonize. Can you harmonize? I can't harmonize. If I hear a note, like I always say, I can sing, but I'm not a singer, because like if I hear a note, I'm gonna sing that note. You gotta harmonize. We just gonna sing the same thing. If you sing a beat, I'm gonna sing a beat.
If you want to,
If you want to harmonize, you got to do it. We gonna sing the same note.
Shantira, that's my character's joke on the show. Is I'm like, I always just go to whatever the note the person next to me is singing. But like also in real life, I always just go to the note of whatever the person next to me is singing.
It's in tune. It still sound good. I remember I did a show at Second City and we had to start with some fucking oohs. And shout out to Joe Boyd, my friend. He had to walk by me and go, ooh, in my ear. And then I go, ooh. And then he had to get as far away from me as possible and sing another note. Because if he was too close, we was going to sing the same note. The harmony was gone.
Oh my gosh.
It's so hard.
I can harmonize really well, but I have like intense stage fright. So I never sing in front of anyone.
Why would you tell us that? That's such
I'm just telling you.
It's just like, I have the greatest talent of all time. But I will never, ever share it with you.
I am also an okay singer and I can harmonize, but I just cannot sing.
I can't help you, but I refuse.
Speaking of Eric Gurian, one time he was like, what is a situation in which you could sing? And I was like, I don't know, like maybe I could sing over the phone. And so then he would always like call me and be like, okay, give it to me. And then I'd be like, I can't.
Oh my gosh.
Do you sing in your car?
I sing in my car.
You got to sing in the shower.
The shower. I sing in my house. But yeah. And I think that my son is the same because I think one time, Lincoln, I'm sorry. I think one time he forgot I was in the house and he started singing while he was playing his guitar and it was really good. And then he remembered like 30 seconds later that I was there and stopped. And then so one time I just asked him casually, like, I have to ask you something really personal. Are you a good singer? And he was like, yeah.
Both of you, it runs in the family.
I love it.
I would never have a hidden talent. If I had a talent, I'd give it away. I would tell everybody about it. I would put it on TikTok. I would download TikTok to show you my talent.
It feels for me, it's a weird situation. It really, have you ever gotten lightheaded because you're like having a panic attack or?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's exactly
I lived on a cruise ship.
Yes. That's exactly how trying to sing in front of people makes me feel.
I'm so bummed because me and Dizzy are great at holding the same note. We need some help.
I know we need a harmony. I feel like this. I don't know.
It's very funny to me. Harmony's so hard. If you can do it,
a recording of myself singing one time.
But then we're just gonna sing the same note.
No,
we need harmony.
Maybe, yes, you can record yourself singing, and then I'll like do a harmony over it, and we'll all do it like transactionally and separate.
I love it. Let's do it.
Me and Busy will sing the exact same note.
Exact same note. I mean, I just we went and recorded some of the songs for the show, and it was so fun, but also it was so hard. And also we didn't get to what we're all doing our best at this week yet, but because we were just talking. But I feel like I'm allowing myself to also not be my best at something. I'm not actually. I don't know how to be in a recording studio like Sarah Bareilles or any of the women that I'm working with, and I'm not great at harmonizing, but I'm trying and I'm doing my best. And and it's hard for me because I'm such a perfectionist. I cried when I couldn't even get the throat scope down. Yeah. So for me to feel like, oh God, okay, I'm prepared. But then I'm like, I've lost it. What is the note? I can't do it. So they're like, okay, busy. Okay, got it. I got it. Okay, let's do it right now. So I feel like I've been.
You have your own Joel Boyd.
I have my own Joel Boyd. But I've been I feel like I've been doing my best at allowing myself the freedom of not being hard on myself for not knowing how to do this, not allowing it to to make me feel bad.
Yeah.
Or that I should know how to retain
really
choreography
hard.
In my brain.
Yeah, it's because staying in your lane or knowing what your lane is really hard because especially if you're open to trying new things. Being open to trying new things and not trying to be the most excellent at it, it's very hard for me because I'll try anything and then I'll be like, and now I must master it. And some shit you just can't. You just aren't the master, even if you like it a lot.
Right. And I think that's important because like I see it with one of my kids where like she's very hesitant to try things that she doesn't know if she's going to be good at.
Oh yeah, that's me for sure. I always would do stuff and like never tell anybody I knew how to do it. That's how it was for like improv. I like did a bunch of solo shows. I just was like, I'll do it by myself and get good. And then one day I'll play with like 5 other people and they'll be like, how'd you get so good? I like only want to do stuff in front of people unless I'm like a champion. Like I never want anybody to see me doing poorly. So that's my vibe.
I think that's an issue probably culturally, you know, because because we put so much emphasis on natural talent and prodigies and people that are just amazing right out of the gate. But the truth is, like a lot of these things we're talking about, they do take practice to get proficient or to get decent at. And even people that are masters at things still put in tons of hours of practice. And so, you know, like you see it all the time. Kids that are good at art get frustrated because they're not as good at art as they wish to be, like right off the bat. But it takes 10,000 hours, you know, that's it. You just have to keep practicing.
It might also be
Malcolm
like
Gladwell.
Malcolm Gladwell.
It also might be like just like a girl thing. Cause I think boys get to just like I'm doing a dance, do whatever they want. I'm like, you know, kind of like loosey goosey. Girls at a young age are like, I need to be the best because like, I don't want anybody to think like girls can't do this or like, I can't do this. Like if a boy fails, it's like, that's okay. Like you'll figure it out. If a girl fails, all of a sudden she's like the keystone of all of her gender for all of humanity.
Right. This is like, I was about to say, Shantira, the same thing. Like this is all kind of the same conversation,
Absolutely,
right? Like, like men are allowed to show up and be like, vibe it, like whatever it is, it is.
It's a vibe.
And women are like, I have to be an expert before I will dip my toe into those waters. And I guess like I do wish that more men were able to I wish that we could like meet in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I wish more women.
Men should be better and women should be allowed to not be experts. That's the middle.
There you go. I love it. That's it, guys. Well, we solved that.
We solved it. Podcast
we solved
over.
Gender parity and equality on this show. And I feel like that's all we could ask for on this Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah. Not gonna be a problem going forward.
Yeah, we fixed it.
Ooh, Casey, did you just pop in Olipop?
I did.
Guys, it's time for a little soda break. But soda? Busy? You haven't had soda in years. Well, now I do. This is actually true. I have actually been buying Olipop for a couple of years. They sent it to me once a couple of years ago to try, and I do really enjoy it. And so then I will pick it up. But it's not a regular soda. It's like a healthy alternative and it tastes like regular soda.
Olipop is like, it's a soda that comes in all these like nostalgic flavors that we love, like cola, vintage cola, classic root beer, orange squeeze, cherry vanilla, and strawberry vanilla. But it has so much less sugar than.
So the two that we actually purchase in our home is the root beer and the orange squeeze. Those are like the two that I'm obsessed with.
They're so delicious. And they also contain 9 grams of plant fiber in each can.
And probiotics, right?
Prebiotics and probiotics. So AKA good bacteria for your gut. And those are like the hardest things to work into your diet. And now suddenly you can just drink a fun soda and get a huge amount of these things that you need.
I really, really genuinely like Olipops. And, it's like there's only 2 to 5 grams of sugar from natural sources. No added sugar. And just so you know, just for comparison, Coca-Cola has 39 grams of sugar.
That's a
also,
lot.
we were talking about like heading into trying to keep us all healthy and well. Like, I don't know if you guys get into this or you fuck with this, but sugar is not great for your immune system. And I'm trying to keep it low sugar because you know I'm a real sugar fiend, but I'm trying to also stay healthy because I'm on set. And I'm taking vitamins and I'm doing like a bunch of other stuff. But this is like an easy way to get like a little kick. And probiotics and prebiotics are really good for you, for your immune system and staying healthy too. So we love it. You should try it. I think, look, just a cup of ice and put the soda in it.
And FYI, all the products are non-GMO, vegan, paleo, and keto friendly. So if you're doing any of those deals where you want to have less than like 8 grams of net carbs per can, Olipop, that's what it has.
Listen, get on that keto train.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why, but do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying we like it. We use it. And now I want you to try it. So we worked out a deal, an exclusive, as Cricket likes to say. 20% off plus free shipping on their best-selling variety pack. It's a great way. You can try all of the flavors. Go to drinkolipop.com/best or use code BEST, BEST, at checkout to claim this deal. That's DRINKOLIPOP.com/best. The discount is only valid for the variety pack. Olipop can also be found in over 3,000 stores across the country, including Whole Foods, which is where I buy it, Sprouts, Kroger, Wegmans, and Erewhon. Guys, Olipop is so confident that you're going to love these sodas that they offer 100% money-back guarantee for orders placed through their own website. Get your Olipop on! Olipop! Pretty litter, pretty litter. Why you so pretty? You're a pretty litter. Here's the deal, guys. I got to try to figure out how to get these cats across country. In non-COVID times, there's a cat driving service. Not a joke. I looked it up. No, I don't think that's in the cards for my cats that are currently living in LA with our daughter's longtime nanny, Ileana. And actually, probably, can I be honest, like really enjoying themselves. And they're definitely living their best lives because we've switched them to PrettyLitter. We're obsessed. We love it. The cats love it. We've never loved, having 2 cats is a lot. Cat people out there, and I've never loved a litter box moment. But PrettyLitter is kitty litter reinvented. It's unlike traditional litter. It's super light crystals. They trap the odor. They release moisture, resulting in dry, low-maintenance litter that doesn't smell. I swear to you, we really noticed a difference when we started using PrettyLitter. They started sending it to us before they were advertising on our podcast because I had to make sure that PrettyLitter was legitimate litter. Legitimate litter. That PrettyLitter was legit a litter. Anyway, it arrives safely at my door in a small, lightweight bag that lasts up to a month. I love not having to go to a pet shop and getting those heavy, heavy bags of litter. This isn't that. This is a different thing. I don't have to deal with like any last minute trips. And above all, I really do appreciate this. It's a kitty parent hero because it has a health indicator built in. It monitors our cat's health by changing colors when it detects potential underlying issues.
That's
do not
genius.
find that kind of innovation in conventional litter. If you have a cat who's had any kind of kidney issues, you know what I'm talking about. You have to really be careful and watch it. And somehow the PrettyLitter people are geniuses and figured out how to give us a little sign that the cat needs some attention. So get the world's smartest litter without leaving home by visiting PrettyLitter.com and use the promo code BEST, BEST, for 20% off your first order. That's PrettyLitter.com, promo code BEST for 20% off. PrettyLitter.com, promo code BEST. I mean, I will say in popular culture this week, that actor kid, I really went off on it on my Instagram stories, but that actor kid,
Lucas Gage.
Oh,
Gage,
yeah.
and his audition with the director being an asshole about his apartment.
Hollywood break.
And
People might not know because that's like, it was very big on Twitter, right?
it was
Yes.
also like, it was very viral. And then it was like, there were articles written about it. It was a big trending story. But basically this actor, young actor, good looking white kid.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah.
All the privilege in the world, guys, with that beautiful white face. And he's really cute. Who is he? Does anyone? I mean, I didn't look him up, but I
don't
He's
know.
been in a lot of things.
He is. He's like, I mean, by the way, from what I heard, who the director is, he's a big director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he admitted it. He did. The director wrote a piece for Deadline apologizing.
Oh, he did?
He
oh,
did.
shit. I missed the coda. What happened? Tell me.
The director just said at first he said he wasn't going to apologize, and the director's name is Tristram Shapiro.
I know Tristram.
He's directed, and people say he's lovely.
He directed my pilot.
There you go.
Of Sackett Sisters.
There you go. And so he's worked
His name
on
is
Tristram Shapiro.
Tristram.
And so a lot of people say he's lovely to work with. And at first, I guess people figured out who he was based on, put the pieces together.
I heard it was somebody else.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people thought it was somebody else. And so I kind of applaud that he came forward because he doesn't want anyone else getting dragged for what he did. But he said that he was trying to be sympathetic. He was trying to say, I feel bad for these poor people in their apartments. Look at this guy's TV is in the background. He wasn't muted. And so then this actor, Lucas, said, oh no, you're not muted. I know it's a shitty apartment. That's why you need to give me this job. I need this job so I can get a better apartment. But then he posted it to Twitter and everybody sort of got on Lucas's side saying they took it like this director was insulting him. But the director in his apology said he was saying it with empathy, but still he was mortified that he was overheard.
I mean, listen, that is interesting because I do know Tristram.
But this is the thing. Group chat, baby. Don't say shit on Zoom. Always just take it to the group chat.
And definitely do not masturbate on Zoom.
Yeah,
oh my
for
gosh.
sure. That's a definite.
That's gotta be a no.
Make sure that camera's turned off.
What it was so weird. You guys at home probably know that we're talking about Jeffrey Toobin was fired from his journalism job for masturbating on a big work Zoom call. He thought that he was in a private room on Zoom.
Still at work, don't do it. Don't do it on Zoom.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And what was so weird about that is how many people,
defended him.
From his colleagues at the New Yorker to other journalists defended him, and they were like, he shouldn't have to pay his entire life for this one mistake. And I'm like, jerking off at work is a really huge mistake. I've never done it.
He also has a history of doing fucked up stuff. He's like a piece of shit. So I said it. So he didn't deserve a job. No way. So I think that's a thing too that we could talk about in this culture also is that grown adult white men are treated as if they are boys, and people of color who are boys are treated as if they are men.
Yes.
So he's a 50-year-old man who worked for the New Yorker. Keep your dick in your pants. He doesn't
not
get
on
an
a Zoom.
You know what I mean? If some 13-year-old boy is jerking it and he forgets to take off his fucking camera, I'll be like, yeah, you fucked up. You're a child.
I guess I'll just never understand the need that instant
What is so
get
hot?
it off.
What is so
Get
hot
it off.
about?
I mean, what is wrong with me? Get it off.
Wow.
Get it off, get it on. Hey man.
Whatever it is. I just will never understand. Like, yeah, in a work Zoom, you're like, ugh, I just gotta fucking rub one out.
I've never,
Also,
I've never
just
been
go to the
that
bathroom.
horny. At work. Yeah,
I've never been that horny. Wait,
Shout out to like working with all women. We've said this before, but it was like if there was HR there, they would have been mad because somebody would walk in and we'd be like, "You fine ass bitch, you look so good. Did you get a new sweater?" And then everybody's like, "Yeah, Jasmine, you're so hot." We would have definitely gotten in trouble.
and we all took the Kinsey quiz
Oh,
to
yeah.
see like what our number was on the Kinsey scale.
I love
everyone's a 2.
Everyone's
Unless
a 2.
you're-
Unless you're
unless
a
you're-
producer, a producer. It was like all of the producers were zeros. They were so straight, and everybody, all the writers, everybody was a 2. But I also love that. Janae, shout out. Everybody like kept getting gayer. Like we took it like right when we started doing the show in like November, and everyone was like a 1 or a 2. And by like May, everyone was like a 4. Janae was like, "I'm a 4 now." I was like, "You're full blown bisexual now?" It was so fun.
God. Meanwhile, by the way, guys, we're doing our magic show, tomorrow night.
Yes.
And Ray
well,
was
it's
going
tonight.
over.
It's tonight, by the way.
Oh wait, tonight! It's tonight. It's tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing our magic show tonight. And classic, not doing my best form. Work schedule changed, so I might just be popping in and out of the magic show. We don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I'll make Sarah Bareilles come be a special guest, or Renee, or Paula Pell.
Magic show hosting duties are going to take place on the set of her show because she tried to say that she had a hard out. But here's also Hollywood break. When you're working on something, there is no such thing as a hard out.
Remember though, like I don't understand that Thanksgiving's not actually a holiday. Remember what happened on Busy Tonight where I was like, "Oh, I booked a Disney cruise." Wait, what do you mean we have to work on the week of Thanksgiving? And you're like, "Well, we have to do shows. Thanksgiving's just one day busy." And I was like, "I know, but don't we just take the whole week off?" And you're like, "No, never."
Listen,
and we had to rearrange the whole schedule so we could go on a Disney cruise. R.I.P. cruises.
Yeah,
RIP.
it's true.
Never again.
I admire about you is that you really have you really will go on a trip. Like it's important to you to go on a trip. You don't, I've worked at places where I've planned trips and they're like,
That feels like an insult compliment.
You will go on a trip.
You know what I really admire about you? How much time you take off.
But I'm saying I've worked in places where the host decides that they want to cancel their trip and then suddenly everyone's trip is canceled, and there's no option to be at Busy Tonight, if you were taking a trip. But we also had other people that were like, "Oh, I'm supposed to go on this bachelorette party. It's been happening for a year." And we were
guys, wasn't it Carly that left for 3 weeks to go on some trek around somewhere with her mom? I swear.
She did take a vacation that had been planned for a long time. It wasn't that long. It just felt like a long time because
it was a long time.
We really wished she didn't have to do it, but we respected that she did. So yeah, but I've worked in places where they're like, yeah. I mean, when I worked at Letterman, every year we worked on Thanksgiving Day.
No, I mean, I used to work retail, same. And people come in and I'll be like, "What about, it's Thanksgiving. You need this merino wool today. You ate ham, you ate turkey and macaroni, and you were like, now I must get as many cashmere sweaters as possible on Michigan. I would just be like, why are you here? This is all fake. Stop. And then when my shift was over, I too would buy a merino wool sweater.
At Letterman, our studio was on Broadway, and so when we would have to work on Thanksgiving Day, depending on where you got off the subway, you would have to convince a police officer to let you across the street where the Macy's Day Parade was happening, and you'd have to be like, "No, but I work over there. Please, sir, I'm begging you." And they'd be like, "Well, Snoopy's coming right now, so."
Oh my God! But the parade's obviously there's like some new thing that they've done.
It's like digital. They're going to do performances digitally, right?
Right. Well, they've recorded a bunch of them apparently. Like they've done like a lot of Broadway performances and stuff, but like there are floats and there are balloons, I guess, but they're just not, there's not like a parade. They're like filming them at different times. Anyway, there were some up on like 34th today, just like randomly, like just random floats.
Can I tell you something? This is the time when I'm most happy not to be in New York City anymore because I have a phobia of those fucking balloons. And so I'm just so happy.
They're really dangerous. They like take out windows if they're not careful.
Yeah. There was like a lady
big.
got like one
A lady
lady
got
die.
One, yeah, like it took down a telephone pole or like a light pole and killed someone. But
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
not
I
laughing
really,
at the killing part, but like
No.
that is funny to me that it just like Charlie Brown could just like take out like 3 light poles.
it's wild. And when I worked at the Ed Sullivan Theater, they went right by at window level, and I would be like just shitting my pants all day long.
I like them. I've always liked the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. My mom really always has liked it. And so I've always liked watching it. Olay is having a float this year, guys, which is
Great.
a big deal, but I'm not on it and I don't even know where it is.
I love those floats because I love who they get to sing on them. And like it's like so fun. They'll be like, from the chorus of Hamilton, it is. And I'll be like, wait, what? And they'll be like, from Disney Channel show that was out 6 years ago, this is. And I'll be like, wait, who? I love it. I'll be like, this is your break, bitch. Make it count. Make it count.
I remember like I wanted so bad the year Freaks and Geeks came out.
Yeah.
They flew Linda Cardellini. You know how they always have like random ass television people on?
Yes.
They flew Linda Cardellini and her family and I think John Francis Daly and his family to New York. And they were like on the float waving from the new NBC show Freaks and Geeks. It's Linda Cardellini.
Oh my God.
John Francis Daly. And I remember I was like, oh man, that would have been so cool if they on that float. Like what?
Parade? Have you ever been in a
weird.
parade? Have you ever been?
No.
Okay, so like a little, like a local one. Like I
was in a local one.
When I was in high school, I was in the marching band. So we had to
My favorite thing about you.
we had to march in all of these like springtime Tallahassee parades and just like walk for miles, like holding my flute and like stop and play music. And like ever since then, I know that I don't have it in me to do a Macy's Day Parade. I know that like I'm all tapped out. I don't want to walk forever. I don't want to be like stuck because like everybody watching you is getting a show, but you're just on the same float forever. It's just like being in bad traffic for days.
Yes, I was a cheerleader. I was in drum and bugle corps when I was a kid. So a lot of parades. And then I was a cheerleader in high school. So not so many parades, but it's like often, all those holidays where they have parades are fucking hot. And then, you have like the band mom that is like the volunteer and she runs around like squirting water into everyone's
your
mouth.
Yep. They just
To
like
help
march
you
with
survive.
Yeah, but my parents like eventually like I don't have any kids, but eventually like my dad had seen enough springtime Tallahassee parades, so he'd be like, "Where do I drop you off? You call me and I'll come get you." When it'd be like 5 miles away, he'd be like, "I'm just gonna go," and then he'd take me to get pizza. He's like, "I don't need to watch. This is my 8th springtime Tallahassee parade, and it's the same."
I appreciate that your dad also had boundaries.
Oh yeah, my dad would be like,
no.
He was like, "I have seen you play the Lincoln High School fight song, and you can call me Al 100,000 times. I don't need to watch you walk up the Magnolia Street for like 4 miles." But he would always take me to go get pizza after. He was like, "You did good, kid," and I'd be like, "Pizza!" It was the best.
It's interesting because I was thinking about our chat with our guest today, Nia Vardalos.
It's so great. I was so happy to meet her. Like, I'm happy to meet everyone, but like, sometimes I'm just like, this is very cool for me.
Did you love that movie? I want to watch it again now.
I love that movie.
Like, you know what? It's a great Thanksgiving movie.
It's a great Thanksgiving movie.
Yeah, My Big Fat Greek Wedding is kind of just like a classic. Okay, so
it holds up.
Really quick, before we get to Nia, you guys, anything else you guys are doing your best at this week? Do you want to talk about? Or are you good?
The most exciting thing that happened to me this week, and it has nothing to do with how good or how I'm doing my best, is that Dolly Parton's sister, Stella, followed me on Twitter.
Oh my gosh. She's fun.
Yeah. I don't know why. I must have just responded to a tweet that she was included in, or I'm not sure how it happened. I'm not sure what I did to deserve it, but I always hate when people brag about who followed them on social media, because it's it's
exciting.
But Stella Parton, that's pretty exciting.
That's super exciting.
It's very exciting. I'm excited for you.
Maybe you get the vaccine. Maybe you can get the vaccine.
Maybe I can get the vaccine first. Maybe Stella Parton would be a guest on our podcast. She is also a singer and, following in her sister's footsteps. And she just has that, that Parton blood running through her.
That's so fun. I love that. Twitter is a hellscape, but it is so fun when someone that you genuinely like follows you or interacts with your tweet. It's because it's in real life, if you bother that person, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I didn't want to bother you. But if they just follow you, you were like, I didn't even do anything. This is so nice.
Have you ever gotten stage fright on Twitter because of someone who followed you?
Do you want to know who followed me? And I took a screenshot and sent it to my friend. And if she listens to this, please don't unfollow me. Audra McDonald fucking followed me on Twitter.
I mean, come on.
And I'm a ghost. This is a ghost. I passed away, and this is my ghost on this podcast because I saw it, and then I took a screenshot and took it and sent it to Dwayne. I was like, I don't know what I said, but I hope I don't ever say anything to make her go away.
Wait, I have something to tell you now.
What?
I'm on a group chat with Audra McDonald.
No, I'm obsessed. Oh my God.
I'm on a wild COVID group chat with Audra McDonald.
I even left her.
Can I even share the other people? It's wild.
That's up to you.
I'm saying is she's great. I even left her in private practice. I was because I don't usually see who follows me because it just kind of happens. But I opened my phone and it said Audra McDonald. And I was like, you know how some people put famous people names in their fucking shit? And I was like, oh, maybe this is a stan. It is her.
When I thought Kanye West had followed me a few years ago. And I was like, oh my God.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is a stan account. And then I was like, oh my fucking God. Dwayne! So that is the coolest thing that has ever happened to me in my life.
I love that. That is very cool. Well, and then, and you love talking with Nia Vardalos, and we should talk to her. You guys, she's just the best. Nia's the best.
It was so nice. It was so cool.
I loved our conversation. And I hope you get a lot from this conversation because it was really inspiring to me. So take a listen. Oh my God, Bev. I'm obsessed with Bev. You guys. I love a drink in a can. I love a drink in a can. Bev is my new favorite. I love this girl. First of all, female-founded business. Female owners, ladies who are like, let's put some wine in a can so everybody can have exactly the amount of wine they want to drink at the end of their 14-hour shoot day. Hi, they made it for me.
Yes.
I love it. Also, I love an Aperol Spritz, right? But you're like, am I opening up a sparkling wine? Because then it's going to go flat and I'll just want one. It's Bev. This is the answer to everything. You guys, I'm not kidding.
Yes.
I loved that rosé. I opened them all and did a taste test and then got real drunk. We were texting. Were we texting?
It was on our group chat about how you did a taste test and you.
I truly, I enjoyed all of them and just was zonked out after.
Yes. I love anything that has a little fizz. So that's what's special for me. And they're very dry and really crisp and fresh. So I just love being able to pop a can and have a little Bev.
I also just think it's I like that. Okay, this is why women this is sort of like what we've been talking about. This is what the whole start of the show is about. Like women just do things better and like more thoughtfully. Do you know what I mean? Like they know that we don't need the whole giant bottle of wine, but like a little sippy sip is going to be great.
It's going to do you good. And there's
for a Wednesday.
There's zero sugar. There are only 3 carbs and 100 calories per serving. I love that. I love not having to worry that I'm wasting, all my carbs on just a little drink.
I mean, I used the extra fizzy sparkling white wine for my Aperol spritz that I got. But then I drank the rosé and I threw in some ice cubes because I'm not above it. A Sauv Blanc and a Pinot Gris, which I love a Pinot Gris. But you know what? Here's the thing too. That's what you just a glass and a half. That's my weekday limit, guys.
That's the perfect amount.
And it ships straight to your door and shipping is free. I love Bev. I just love it. So here's our deal. Here is our deal. For the Busy Phillips is doing her best podcast. Listen, ladies and gentlemen who are listening, you're going to receive 25% off your first purchase plus free shipping on all orders. I suggest getting that limited edition sparkling glitz and then making a little Aperol spritz, a winter Aperol spritz. Guess what? Add pomegranate. Boom. There we go. Orange, pomegranate, throw in a cranberry, festive. That's it. And we also enjoy the best-selling Ladies Night Variety Pack. Check out their 3 most popular varietals. To claim the deal, you must go to drinkbev.com/busy. That's DRINKBEV. BEV. Did I just say that? Well, that's it, guys. She's lost it. That's drinkbev.com/busy. Guys, we got sleep, stress, recovery, whether it's in the gym, whether it's at work. These things are important to how we meet our days. I know for a fact when I don't sleep well, I'm a real fucking bitch. It's so confusing right now. Everybody is like, has it ever been dark this early ever before in the world, in the history of the world? It feels crazy. And then I just feel like I'm not having restful sleep. So we got sent this thing, NuCalm, and it is kind of amazing. It's like a stress management system. It's the first of its kind, clinically proven in over 1 million sessions to improve your sleep and reduce your stress and boost your recovery. I'm down for trying whatever without sleeping pills because sleeping pills terrify me and I'm afraid that would be how I would die.
Yeah.
Is that too dark for this ad for NuCalm? Maybe. But it's a system. It uses neuroscience. It consists of 3 non-invasive, non-pharmaceutical items that are included in your monthly subscription. That, by the way, costs less than a daily cup of coffee. The whole process is very easy to use and to work into your routine to achieve better sleep and reduce your stress and boost your recovery. And I just really, we got to try all the things, guys. Not everything's going to work for every person, but you never know unless you try. I think that you should join us in our current NuCalm journey, and let us know. Do what I did. You need to own the day with NuCalm. We have a special link set up specifically for our listeners. Go to busynucalm.com and get 50% off your 30-day subscription of NuCalm and their money-back guarantee. That's busynucalm.com. busynucalm.com. Nia, wait, is that your dog, Nia? Whose dog?
He is. When he hears me on a Zoom, he thinks I said SNACK. And
Oh. I get it.
Oh my gosh.
yeah, he came right back because he's
Okay, good.
He wants to be in on it.
he's a
How's
criminal.
it going, Nia? It's been I haven't seen you in so long. First of all, I want to just say for our listeners at home, because we're not a podcast that posts a Zoom, you look fantastic.
Yeah.
The hair color, your blowout, I don't know what is going. I'm like into
What is
it.
happening?
Sexy. I'm into it. What's happening?
It's like a very hot Nancy Myers film is happening
Yes.
in Nia's
You
Zoom
definitely
box.
have like a vibe, like a Diane Keaton. You definitely have 2 islands in your crib for sure.
That is, I was just going to say, if I'm in a Nancy Myers film, then I have a fantastic kitchen.
Oh my gosh, 2 islands. Oh,
Yeah.
the dream.
Yeah. You guys, thank you. It's Zoom. I think that I love the distance. Like, you don't even know if I have BO.
Doesn't matter. You look hot.
Yeah.
I bet your
You're really
BO
good.
smells like intriguing.
It smells like feta cheese.
Oh. That means
Which I love.
That just means
Me
you've
too.
really lived a life. You've lived a life. That's what it means.
I'm so excited to see you all. Hi. Except for Laura, who's hidden. Still.
Laura's hidden. Laura's our producer, and she never shows her face, but it's very cute if you ever get to see it.
Yeah.
Well, Nia, the last time that we saw you, and actually Casey and I were together, we saw Tiny Beautiful Things in Pasadena at the Pasadena Playhouse. And it is so phenomenal. And I remember when it was announced that you were doing it at the Public Theater in New York. And I always loved that book. And I just thought, oh, well, that's it. That's the perfect person. So the first thing I just want to ask you about is, how did that idea even come to you that you wanted to turn that into a show? And because since I hadn't seen it, I had just heard about it at the Public. I assumed it was a one-woman show, but it's really not. It's really so beautifully done. I just would love to know where that came, like how you got inspired to do it.
That's so nice to say. Thank you. First of all, busy. We've known each other for a long time. And Casey, when I first met you, I mean, our faces were swollen with tears after that show, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a cathartic thing that happens to us on stage too. And this is how it came to be. Years ago, I did 24-hour plays on Broadway, and Tommy Kail directed me. And I know,
Just Tommy
your friend,
Kail. Just,
your friend,
you know.
just Tommy Kail. So he said at the end of it, we had a good time, and he said, we're going to be friends. Took my phone, put his number in, and he's one of those people that actually follows through.
Totally.
Like, yeah, he would call me when he was in LA. I would call him when I was in New York. And he kept saying, let's find something to do together. And he offered me a Broadway show. And I couldn't do it because my daughter was starting kindergarten. And he called me and said, who turns down a Broadway show? And I was like, a mom. It was my daughter's first months of kindergarten.
Yeah.
And when you do Broadway, you have to sign on for 18 months. So he said, because of financing and all of that. So
That's a Broadway. We do a Hollywood break, and that's a Broadway break. Everybody doesn't know that. That's a Broadway break right there.
I didn't even know that. Being a primarily television and film actress, I didn't know that until one of my friends did a play, and she's like, oh yeah, well, otherwise you don't make any money. You have to sign on for 18 months or you won't make any money, right?
And the financiers won't make money because they need to be able to guarantee ticket sales, which they release probably 4 months at a time, but they need to be able to say to the theater, we're going to book your theater for this amount of time. So I get it. I get all of it. I'm a middle child. I get both sides of it, but I couldn't do it. So anyway, Tommy said, we're going to find something to do together, which again, he's a man of his word. So one time I was in New York and he said, hey, come to my rehearsal. And you know how actors hate to go to people's rehearsals because you're just standing there like... You're like you hang by craft services which there's none in theater.
No.
Or you think, well, I could have played him, like it's just the worst feeling. But I said, what's it for? And I swear to God, I thought he said the life and times of Alexander Hamilton. And I thought it was an ABC after school special. So I didn't want to go. I didn't know what it was. And I went, oh, I don't want to go. Why do I have to go to that? And he said, well, Lynn's here. So I thought, all right, I'll go by and see Lin-Manuel and Tommy Kail at this rehearsal for this thing. And I watched the scene where Angelica is remembering meeting Alexander Hamilton for the first time, and they go back in time. And I watched my friend, who was my friend, put that scene together. And I was like, oh, I might know a genius. I was like, oh, this is going to be amazing. So at that rehearsal, Tommy said, I think I have something for us to do together. And I was like, anything, and he said, here's this book. It's called Tiny Beautiful Things. It was written by Cheryl Strayed while she was waiting for notes on Wild, her memoir. She became an online anonymous advice columnist. What? It's so crazy. And I don't like
Dear
advice.
Sugar.
Dear
Sugar.
Sugar.
Was your column.
Sugar. Yeah.
Which, by the way, did you know about Dear Sugar?
No.
Had you been?
No.
I was a fan of Cheryl's and also a fan of Dear Sugar. And when I found out that they were like the same person, dead.
Same.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened in the literary community. And I don't like advice columns because I'm from a large rambling family who consistently gives unsolicited advice.
Like to put Windex on everything?
That's right. On your mask zit. So I was like, I don't think this is going to be for me, Tommy. And I read it on the plane home, and I told Tommy that the flight attendant, I was crying in a way, not because it's sad, but to use Cheryl Strayed's phrase, the material unzips you. And
I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Okay. Yeah. So I thought I had processed a lot of things, and I realized on that plane ride home that I was carrying a lot of grief, and she gives you permission to grieve and move on, which is a strange thing. That they're conflated, and yet she has a way with her words because she doesn't give advice. She offers illumination. She says, I hear you. This is something that happened to you. Here's something that happened to me. Perhaps there's something in it that might be useful. So I landed.
That's definitely not how my mom gives advice. That's
right?
really nice.
No.
My mother has never once been like, this might be useful. It's really like, you should do this. So I really appreciate that.
In my family, you're just, at church and an aunt gives you a coupon for eyebrow waxing.
Subtle. Something
that's
very
another
subtle.
way to give advice. And that's a different type of advice than sort of what we're dealing with in Tiny Beautiful Things and Dear Sugar. But
yeah, so,
valid sometimes.
Yeah.
The coupon. I don't know.
So we found Cheryl. Of course, we couldn't get a hold of her through agents. I know people have heard this story a million times that it's theater. They think there's no money in it. Even though Tommy had been Tony nominated for In the Heights, no one was interested in taking our call to do a play because we both felt it was a piece of theater. And even though it's an epistolary exchange, I felt that I could arc the narrative. I didn't know how, but I just wanted to write it. Anyway, we found Cheryl through social media, of course, and she said,
how I found most great things in my life.
Yeah. And so that was it. We made what I call a hug deal because we met for tea. And I just said, I would like to adapt this, and I would like to interview you and find out the why, because I write from the place of the why. What does this person want? And I couldn't see what she wanted in the book because she was so not all-knowing, but so open and candid. And then when I realized that it was about healing the death of her mother, I knew what I needed. And she was so open, you guys. It was unbelievable. In table reads in New York, we would have an actor reading the story about the sexual assault she suffered at the hands of her grandfather. And Cheryl would be at the table acknowledging, yes, this is difficult for you, but I'm past it.
I my God.
I'm crying
I know,
just remembering seeing the show. It just, oh my gosh, I can't recommend it. And I'm crying hearing you describe how it all came to be and just remembering seeing it.
Yes, it's a thank you. It was a great experience. Oh, and then she said to me in that meeting, so do you want to play Sugar? Do you want to play me? And, you know, we are bound by our ethnicity and our looks. And even though my Big Fat Greek Wedding was me going, no, I am not going to just play these roles that I am not being offered. And I'm going to write myself a role. I still struggle. I still have difficulties with, I get offered every Greek role that's ever been written and little else. So to have this, blonde woman say to me, do you want to play me? Was an amazing moment for me. And I actually realized I did. And I said, yes, please. And so
was your thought initially that you would write and not act? Really?
I think I thought I was going to write it. I don't know. I think I thought I would play one of the letter writers. I didn't know what it would turn out to be. I didn't know that sugar would be so prevalent on in the piece. I just didn't know as I started writing. Sometimes I don't really outline. You know, I just
I love that. That's amazing. Because I don't either. So I'm very happy to hear someone that doesn't outline.
I know that like you come from like Second City background, and I know that one of the things I really loved about improv is that like you get to be everything you ever wanted to be and everything you never wanted to be. And then when you get into like scripted theater or scripted work, like they really do take a lot of joy out of it. It's like, I used to play dragons and squirrels. Do you mean to tell me I can't play that guy's girlfriend? And they'll be like, no. So it really is interesting. Like you've been doing this for so long, but to hear you, someone who's like written one of like the most popular, most seen movies in the world,
like
to be
the
like
biggest movie of all time.
But just
like, it is, right?
No, it legitimately, I think, is the number one grossing comedy of all time, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that it's really, like you talk about being open. I think that it's really cool to be honest. And even then, sometimes you feel like you won't get to do what you want to do, and you can still be surprised. It's hard to be like, I'm not going to get that. And then somebody be like, why not? You'd be like, damn, I didn't even know I talked myself out of that.
Yeah, we do talk ourselves out of it, you guys. I think that we manage our expectations. And yet we will tell our girlfriends to reach for the stars and our daughters.
Yes.
And yet we ourselves, why are we realists? Once we pass 30, we think, wow, this is the way it's got to be. No, it doesn't. No.
Yeah.
No, I was doing a podcast the other day because in order to get people to listen to your podcast, Nia, apparently you have to do a bunch of other people's podcasts. Anyway, I was doing a podcast and the woman was asking me about when I first got Freaks and Geeks. And I was like, it's just, I literally never considered that it wouldn't be a possibility. That I would just like, I'm going to move to LA. I'm going to do 2 years of college and I'm going to be on TV. And I moved to LA and I did 2 years of college. In second semester, I got that show. And then everything that came after was like me getting in my own way of saying like, you're not, you're not this enough. You're not that, whatever it was for a really long time until I had another pivot. And I was like, oh, wait, I can do something else. So when my Big Fat Greek Wedding came to be, because we talk about pivots on this show, and you have had quite a few. And the reason why I wanted to start with Tiny Beautiful Things is just because it was the last time we saw you. I saw you. We saw each other.
It was such a wonderful day.
It was such a beautiful day. So moving. I'm getting chills again thinking about it. I also wanted to know if you and Tommy had talked about like doing it on the stage for, Netflix or HBO. I don't know, whatever those people are doing that now, like what the Constitution means to me is. I think you guys should. Can I just say that?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I want to so badly. And we're all annoyingly free. So we should do it. Yeah, I would love to.
Should we loop Tommy in right now and let's just get this going?
Get it going. I was just thinking like how well it would work in a literal Zoom format.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I was like,
That's
it would be
beautiful.
the most compelling Zoom in the world.
Do you want it? Should we do that with the Geffen? They're doing.
I love innovation. I just think it's fantastic. Like if you can
Yeah.
figure out a way, Louis is such a Zoom bomber.
I'm interested in innovation too, and I think that it's really cool in the ways that some people in this time that's been so unbelievably difficult, especially for creatives, have figured out ways to reach audiences or figured out ways to propel themselves. So that's part of what the impetus was for us starting this podcast. Louis, come here.
It's so crazy. You guys, will it feel like Blair Witch if I take you through the house and get a snack for him and give it to him?
No.
Oh no.
Okay.
I would
Let's
love
do-
that. Please
Okay.
come.
Let's do it. I'm just going to
I miss MTV Cribs, so this is like vibe. I really do.
Right into this
Yeah.
room.
And then you show me your fridge, and then we do like a real harsh a real harsh edit.
I do not know why he's like this today, but he is. And I think that we need to satisfy his itch.
We have to honor him. We have to honor Louis.
I know, I love it.
He's so.
And then I want to know the pivot of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and then My Big Fat, which I knew, by the way. This is not in any notes. I just know that it's like the #1 grossing comedy of all time.
Yeah.
I love them over there at Playtone. They treated me like gold before that movie made a dime. It was a heady experience for them. You know, like how it happened is I wrote the screenplay, didn't have representation, got on stage, did it as a solo show. Rita Wilson and Tom Hanks came. Gary Getzman, Tom Hanks's partner, came. Tom called me and said, we're forming a company. We would like to make your movie our first movie.
Right. I mean, that in and of itself, you're like, okay, well,
Just mind blowing.
Okay.
The thing that really takes me, just like as an artist, is like you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. My favorite thing is them being like, so we should make this a movie. And you're like, let's go. I'm ready. I got you. And
I have
really
the screenplay.
I have it. One of my mentors always says, people always want to be writers, but no one wants to write. And I think that's like, everybody's like, I want to write for SNL. And it's like, cool, you need to write 50 monologue jokes. And they're like, gross. It's like, that's the job. So when I hear the story of you being like, I know this movie's fucking great. I wrote it already. I'm just waiting for somebody to realize that I'm ready to go. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Get your script ready to go, baby. I love it so much. And look what it did.
I actually had one of those chilly chill moments after the movie came out and I was on a world tour, to promote it for a year. I was on a treadmill somewhere in a hotel and I saw, when you're making a movie, they do EPK. So the producers are there and they interview them and then they bank it for later.
Wait, let's do a Hollywood break.
Hollywood break, guys. EPK is a thing that happens to promote your movie where, like, while you're shooting the movie, they have another little camera crew come in and set up like you're being interviewed for any generic entertainment show.
Like Entertainment Tonight
and then when your movie comes out, they like send that out.
EPK stands for Electronic Press Kit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you answer all these basic questions. Okay, so you're EPK, you're on the treadmill.
So I'm on the treadmill in some hotel and I see Entertainment Tonight or one of those shows and they're showing Tom Hanks being interviewed on the set of My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And I realized, my God, we made that a year and a half ago because we couldn't get a distributor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm watching him and he said exactly what you just said. He said, well, we saw this one-woman show and we thought it was so great. And we said, this should be a movie. And she handed us her screenplay.
It's the biggest flex. It's the biggest flex that I know in the industry. It's the biggest flex and I'm obsessed with it.
Isn't it crazy? It's so
and it's like the timing of them starting their company. We need a film. What do we want to make? What do we want to say? It's got to be something we can afford for our first film.
Yeah.
We, and we want it to be, but we want it to be great. And we want it to, the first thing that they put out together is
the biggest comedy of all time.
but also has the heart, has a female at the center who was not at the time a movie star. Like it was it was really saying what their mission was as a company.
Absolutely. And they're actually like that.
Mm-hmm.
They look for new artists. They find new projects. They're kind. Their notes were so respectful because my script was big and long. And, I call it write fat. Don't edit yourself. Just write,
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me notes about trimming back, but they kept saying, it's your movie. It's your movie. And I was like, when are they going to rip off their masks and drink my blood?
And that happened when? With the no. It didn't happen. Oh, I got it. Okay.
I think it's also a true testament to your writing too. I know my Big Fat Greek Wedding because my grandma Louise bought it on VHS. And in Tallahassee, Florida, we watched my Big Fat Greek Wedding on VHS in our house, and my grandma loved your grandma. She was like, she's sneaking out. I get it. As she leaves the house. Truly, there's an old black lady in Tallahassee where this movie fucking resonates. And I think it's just everybody. And then I watched it again later after I'd lived in Chicago, and I'd be like, that's my train. It's like, so it's really cool.
God, that makes me so happy. Yeah, that is definitely a pivot point. What happened is my friend told me about another stand-up who got a development deal. Mm-hmm. And I wish I could do stand-up. I worked at a waitress at a stand-up club in Toronto, and I'm Canadian. And I could not figure out the cadence, the rhythm, the timing. I was a sketch person. And so I thought, how am I going to get a development deal, which a lot of stand-ups were getting at the time. So I made a list of everything that had happened in the last year and borrowed a friend's computer and wrote my Big Fat Greek Wedding just so I could get it registered. I didn't even know about the Writers Guild. I got it registered at the Library of Congress. Oh my God.
I love that. That's amazing.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding was written on a borrowed computer.
Yeah. I couldn't afford a computer. I couldn't, and I at first wrote it out longhand. And, I just think it's a lesson. It's a lesson to myself, when I'm lost and when I don't know what to do, pivot. So I love the focus of your show. Do something else.
Yeah. And figure out, I think that it's important though, a lot of us have things standing in our way. Sometimes we don't have a computer,
Yeah.
And to know that you wrote things out longhand, you had ideas, you were writing them down, you borrowed your friend's computer. When you had the screenplay and you took it out, it didn't sell, correct? Or
I didn't have anyone. I didn't even know that you needed an agent to send it out. I was sending it to Paramount and Universal, and it was coming back unopened.
Right, because they can't, guys. Another Hollywood break. Don't send unsolicited screenplays to production companies.
They legally
will
can't
not
open
them.
it. They legally
can't because if, let's say, they're developing a movie that has a very similar plot to the movie that you just wrote and sent them, then you could sue them in 5 years and so whatever, so they will not open it. You have to have an agent for submissions that has to go through a whole process. But so you were blindly sending it out. That wasn't working. And how long did you do that before you were like, I'm going to put this up as a show?
I think I sent it out for about a year. And then I heard about the Writers Guild. So I registered it there. And then I rented a theater, 3 theaters, small breaks at a time. I had my stage manager from Second City, Jim Yotto. I paid him $50 a show. I made my own posters.
I love hearing you say that you paid this guy $50 and that you made your own posters. One thing that is a huge deal to me is when people take themselves seriously. Yeah. And by even paying someone that small amount, you were saying you're providing me a service. I respect your time and your abilities to help me do this. I'm taking this seriously. That's a big deal.
I think what the bottom line is for me, I say this a lot, is if the phone doesn't ring with the job offer, call yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
That's it. I just
say it again, Nia. This is your Oprah moment for the day. I need you to repeat that. What is it?
All right. If the phone doesn't ring with a job offer, call yourself.
Boom.
That's it.
I love it.
That's gold.
Yeah. That is so good.
Who says you don't like advice? That's some of the best advice I've ever heard. Amazing.
Yeah, because the theater was 99 seats because I'm in equity, so I couldn't make it more than that. I'm going to throw this away for Louis so he eats it. And the tickets were $10 a ticket. So that was a break-even thing for me. I rented the theater, paid for my posters, paid for Jim Yotto, and I broke even. And that was my job. I did 3 shows a week on the weekends. I went to church. I handed out flyers. Greeks are so starved for anything about ourselves that they saw my big fat Greek wedding and they're like, let's go. And I said then they went back with their non-Greek neighbors and the show sold out. And I thought if the story ends there, I'm happy. And then Rita Wilson called and I knew she was coming because my home phone number was on the posters.
I love this.
That's my favorite detail so far.
I would answer my phone with like an accent during the day and and so she came and that was amazing because I was so excited to meet another Greek actress.
When you answered the phone, did you believe it was her?
I didn't believe it was her until I recognized her voice. I didn't believe it was Tom when he called. I still don't believe stuff. Like I just don't.
Tom calls now and you're like, nice try. Like, what? No, I want to talk about our vacation we're taking. Okay, Tom.
Like, quit pranking me.
Make bidets the way you clean. It's better for the environment and for your butt. Is that good? Okay, listen. I'm personally a fan of a bidet moment.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't mind talking about poop. I don't mind talking about the fact that I have had IBS since I was 19. I talk about my period, you know that. And the bidet situation helps with all of it. It's so cleansing and good. And it's a real game changer.
It's a life changer.
It's a life changer. Listen, for years, bidets have cost thousands of dollars and really have only been available to people who are just like very, very wealthy. And you would go into someone's house and you're like, oh my God, they have a bidet. They're millionaires. But now the Hello Tushy modern bidet attachment is here. And they are democratizing cleaning your butt and your vag in a great way.
Yeah.
It should be available to everyone. It's good for the environment.
Because guess what? Everyone has a butt and a lot of people have a vag.
Mm-hmm. But also I think those other things need to be cleaned too. I don't know.
Yes.
But a Hello Tushy attaches to your existing toilet. There's no electricity or additional plumbing needed. And it cleans your butt with a precise stream of fresh water. And guys, guess how much it costs? It's only $79.
That's amazing.
I think it's amazing. You will cut toilet paper use by 80%. It's literally pays for itself. Remember when everybody was freaking out about the toilet paper stuff?
Yes.
I wasn't in my house. You know why? Hello Tushy. I mean, it's amazing. And every Hello Tushy bidet attachment comes with a 60-day risk-free happy butt guarantee and a 12-month warranty. And listen, this is exciting. You're going to get 15% off Hello Tushy bidets plus free shipping right now at hellotushy.com/best. This is Hello Tushy's best offer. I really feel like you need to make your holidays, a little happier by going to hellotushy.com/best for 15% off bidets and free shipping. hellotushy.com/best.
Nia, I loved what you said about if the phone doesn't ring, call yourself. But 2 observations that I'm making about you. You've really, really stayed very true to who you are as a person, that the pivots aren't changing your mission or your goal. They're just to serve who you are as a person and a writer and an actor. And also that you're the kind of person that someone would lend a computer to write
especially
to write
in
a
the early
screenplay.
2000s.
Back then they were precious goods.
Yeah, early 2000s computer, I mean, they really loved you and believed in you because
Yeah.
it was, you had to make a down payment on a compact.
Yeah. And it was a big one. Like he brought it over and I brought it back and then I would do a rewrite. I mean, I wrote the first draft quickly to get it registered, but I rewrote that script 50 times and I still rewrite. Like they on set for any movie I've ever done, they have to take the script out of my hands to film it. Because
I love that.
I'm constantly rewriting because you hear it. You know, you hear the actors breathe life into the words and you're like, oh, let me fix that.
You can't be afraid to like edit. Like so many artists, writers are so desperate and clinging so tightly to their words. And like you have to be willing to let that work grow. And sometimes it's growing while you're shooting it.
You have to be willing. It's a writer's expression. You have to be willing to kill your darlings. Mm-hmm. And while we were on set of the first Big Fat Greek Wedding, that proposal scene was 3 lines long because I accelerated the action so quickly that if you really look at that movie, the only conflict that's coming at the couple is not necessarily within themselves. It's societal and it's traditional and it's familial. Yeah. And so I had to get them so that it's them against the world. But that meant that they got engaged pretty quickly. So I had a 3-page proposal scene and I literally spent the day in bed with John Corbett. Pause. Just pause.
I mean,
what do you think about that?
What a rough day.
That was awful, you guys.
I know. Sometimes you gotta suck it up for your art, you know?
Yeah.
That's what
suck it up. Suck it up for your art.
That's what you do is hashtag my craft.
Oh, the day was so hard. I just had to be in bed with John Corbett. I was so exhausted.
Exactly. So we broke for lunch, and he and I had this pinky swear that we would never have garlic, by the way. And I realized that the scene was clunky and there was a lot going on. And I just went to the producers and I said, can I rewrite? And they were always so supportive.
That's awesome.
And I just cut it down to those 4 lines. And I was so happy the way he did it that I actually am crying in that scene.
Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite scenes. And it's truly less is more couldn't be more like evident in that. Because it's just like 2 people who love each other. And it's like, you want to marry me? And it's like, scream yes. And it's like, yeah, that's how it happens. People go hiking on mountains and then they get on one knee and scream yes. It's like, it didn't have to be 3 pages. And it was still like monumental.
Yeah. That's a testament to John Corbett, man. I love writing for him because he tosses away stuff. As an actor, he's not precious with his words. And he's great to write for. I also love writing for the dad, Michael Constantine. I always call him, I'm like, you are my favorite scene partner. Like, he's amazing.
He's
really fun.
Wonderful.
So, I mean.
Also, like, I don't know him personally, but it feels like who he is as a person really comes through when it's like, oh my gosh, you're like probably like a really fun uncle at a barbecue. Like that's the vibe he has.
Yeah.
And like a really fun, nice guy who would make a mean kebab.
Speaking of food, 2 things on Big Fat Greek Wedding 2 that I loved about him. They picked him up and they brought him to set and they said, do you want some lunch? Because it was like a later call for him. And he went, no, I haven't had breakfast food first. I was like, that is legit, right?
That's a power move. That's a real
That is fascinating
Yeah.
now. No, I need breakfast first.
Yeah.
Before.
So I love that. And then
Interesting.
we were in a 2-hander scene and he had the line where he's lamenting about his wife possibly not remarrying him. And the line was, you walk through life seeing your shadow as 2 people. And before we went into the scene, he sat down with me and said, I want to know what you meant by this line and how I can do it for you. And I want it to be absolutely right because I think it's about your parents.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry. Oh God.
Nia's crying too.
Beautiful.
What a sweetheart, huh? And he slayed it in that scene.
Yeah.
Like just slayed it. Yeah, he manages to be honest and truthful and yet funny, like with these lines. So I love him. He's great.
It can't be a coincidence that you keep saying how respectful people were to you throughout the process of making that movie. But I feel like it can't be a coincidence. I have to believe it's something that you bring out in people.
Mm-hmm. I've directed, and I said at the beginning of it, I'm never going to yell at you. You know, that big production meeting, Hollywood Break? It's it's every department in the room. So you have the camera and electric department. You have the camera crew, which is a different group. That you have the focus puller. You have the costume department. You have the production designer, and everybody is there at a big long square table. And you talk about the process, and you tell the camera department, we do not have the budget for a crane. How are we going to film these certain shots? Come and meet with me. So that's what directing is. And it sucks because it's always less money than you want. But I said to them, I will never yell at you. So we're going to make mistakes and things are going to go wrong and we're going to go over and you're going to tell me and you're going to tell me and we're going to fix it. But don't hide stuff because it's harder to fix a mistake if they're hiding something that went wrong.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like starting from a place of honesty is always the best way to be, right? Like with everything. And that's with work. It's with life. So we are in New York, Nia, and I'm doing a new show here.
No, that show.
I'm so excited. But my older daughter, we don't have to put this in the podcast, but we could. But my older daughter is like miserable on the Zoom school situation in LA. And there's a school here that's literally walking distance from our house. And like, I was like, I know it's a long shot. School's already started. But I emailed the guy and he got on the phone with us yesterday. And he's like, well, let's just talk things through. And I was just like, well, blah, 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 blah. And this is like where she's strong. And this is like, we could use some work and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like laid it out for him. And he was like, well, I have to stop you guys. This is the most refreshing parent interview I have ever had in my life. He's like, most people just come in here and they only tell us how genius their children are, like how wonderful they are and everything. Like what we were talking the other day on the podcast about, the three of us.
Yeah.
And he's like, for you guys to come in and say, like, this is where we all struggle. I was like, look, her executive functioning, like she and I both could probably
organized.
We're not. We're like
trying to pick up this dog.
Yay!
Hi, Louie. But I'm just saying that like too many people make the error of in the beginning starting from a place of being false for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But it only makes things harder for you.
Yeah.
In the long run. Because things are never going to be the way that you like are hoping that they are presenting them to be.
Right.
So you're just making things more difficult for yourself. And like to acknowledge it right at the beginning sets the perfect tone.
I love a precedent.
It's a precedent and it allows everyone to be free.
Yeah.
I love a precedent. I also like, I mean, like, I don't think that I would have made a good movie star back in the day because like, I don't like men yelling at me. I don't appreciate it. And also it's like, I'm a grown ass bitch and don't yell at me. You know what I mean? Like we can have a conversation. We are adults. My daddy don't yell at me and you can't do that. So I really do appreciate like respecting people at a human level.
I think it's also how you get a good performance out of people, right?
Yes.
You're directing a film, you're the parent of the film. And so when you're talking about like sometimes being borderline abusive, like we know that like shuts people down and makes them less creative, less forthcoming, less, even wanting to be there. So I'm sure that is a good part of why you're so successful, like recognizing the humanity and the people that you're working with.
I just have a question for you. So I feel like post Greek wedding, most people would assume that Nia could do whatever she wants. She's like, you're being offered all the parts. you're a star now, which is true. And I think that it might be true, but I just was curious if there was another like moment where you were either up for something didn't happen, the phone didn't ring in the way you wanted to. So again, you had to call yourself, even after having such a huge success.
Yeah, it was partly my, I don't like the word fault, but my choice. What happened is I was in the pursuit of motherhood at the time. And I mean, hard pursuit. And I was trying everything from IVF to adoption, and it wasn't coming to fruition. It was bad. And I made the choice not to be on camera repeatedly. And the phone stopped ringing because that's what happens. And two things to answer your question, Busy. I did not get offered every part. I think that sometimes when there's an anomaly, they sort of toss it from the deck. Like, well, that's a weird little joker. Let's just leave it. And I'm friends with Jon Favreau from Second City. And I remember him saying something about development deals being offered to him after Made. And I was like, I didn't get those. Like, I did not get a studio calling me to offer a development deal. So that's part one. Part two, I decidedly withdrew from being on camera while I was processing that biologically I would not have a child. And then I made the decision to adopt. And I can't explain how it felt so right when the social workers came to my house and took my hand and said, you will be a mother within the year. And I believed her. And I'm telling you, I'd gotten kick after kick in the teeth. And I found the script written by a writer named Mike Reese. And it was about a tour guide in Greece. And I knew that in order to get something financed, I would have to play a Greek. And that's not a travesty. I was like, fine. De Niro's played Italian 1,000 times. So I took it to Playtown, even though I was writing for Tom and with Tom. I was writing for, God rest his soul, Jonathan Demme. I was writing for a lot of people, but I knew I wanted to go back on camera because I knew I was going to be a mother within the year because that lady said it and I believed her. And I made this movie called My Life in Ruins. We got the financing. I went to Greece. I filmed it and I came back and got the call. There's a girl, she's almost 3 years old. She's living in American foster care. And I said, when can I meet her? And they said, tomorrow. And I'm her mom.
That's awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was a thing where the phone wasn't ringing biologically. And I had to call myself because I wanted to be a mom. But I am so grateful that I couldn't have a biological child because Ilaria is my daughter. That's my daughter.
And she was always going to be your daughter.
Always.
100%.
Oh, this weird thing happened to me in Spain. Oh my God, it was so weird. I had just gotten a call from that social worker. There was a girl I had inquired about, and she had been adopted by another family. And that's great, right? For her.
Yes.
But I was walking down the pier on my day off from filming My Life in Ruins at a soundstage, and I was crying because I thought, man, when am I going to be a mom? And I looked up to heaven like, when am I going to be a mother? And this girl was walking toward me on the pier, like 7 years old, maybe, holding her grandparents' two hands. And as she walked by me, she took my hand and we passed each other. And I was so, why is she holding my hand? And I felt like she was saying to me, soon.
Oh my gosh.
That's so powerful.
Little babies, sometimes there's a message and sometimes you can think, oh, that's a little woo woo. Or sometimes you can kind of open your heart and say, this path isn't working. Put a Band-Aid on your forehead from banging against a brick wall and turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And like, honestly, to me, the woo woo thing is like, you're talking to, the
right ones.
I'm
we
a
love
firm believer in the universe, like showing you where you have to go if you're open to it. And I think that we do get a lot of times so closed off into even seeing those possibilities. And I just love that. I love that little girl grabbing your hand and bringing you that sense of calm. You just needed it in that moment. It's so beautiful. I mean, that's like, to me, that's like an angel, right?
Yes.
Like, that's like,
That's like a little
That's what an angel is.
Yeah. Kids are empathic, right? I think that she must have felt my pain.
They know. They haven't been trained out of it. Kids haven't been trained out of their like natural empathic instincts. And when we get older, they tell us to ignore them. But if a little 7-year-old girl is holding her hands on the in Spain, it's like, oh my, okay, she knows what's up.
Yeah.
They know.
Yeah. And you're right. We have been trained out of it because I wasn't looking at her. I can't even tell you her exact age because I wasn't looking at her, but she was looking at me and feeling my pain.
Wait, I want to feel old right now. Wait, how old is Ilaria now?
Oh, can you even believe it? 15.
No.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I met Ilaria, she was 4. Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think she had just turned 4.
Yes, I brought her to the set of Cougar Town and she was fascinated by the pool inside a soundstage.
Yeah. Well, buddy.
I know.
I can't believe Birdie's 12. Seems crazy. And Cricket, who, you remember I was pregnant. Cricket's 7.
No.
Yes. Not weird.
No, I think of them as just little babies.
Guys, FYI, they just keep getting older. I can tell you from experience. Yeah, I know. It's weird. I didn't think it was going to happen either, but they apparently
that is
adults.
Selfish of them.
I don't love it. I don't love it. If people haven't read your New York Times bestselling memoir, Instant Mom, I really highly recommend it. I love it so much. All the proceeds go to adoption charities. I mean, to date, the information from the book has placed 1,700 children in
That's incredible.
Homes.
Yeah.
That's incredible, Nia. Yeah.
Like, I think if you're open to it, just be open to it. You know what I mean? If parenthood feels like a journey for you, be open to whatever way a child needs you. You know, because there are so many different ways in which, I often think that like I gave birth to my kids, but I remember in the first bit of being a mom, I was like, that doesn't matter. Like you could have handed me any baby and this would, or any child. And that I believe that even more now, like just.
I mean, I met people along my journey, as they say, who had chosen adoption as the first option. And so that's sort of like, oh, that's illuminating. And I met social workers who build families who have chosen not to have children or partners. And all of it was just a lesson in, I think I'm an open person, but every day you have to tell yourself you should learn something, just something.
Yeah, I love it.
Being open to being open.
Yeah.
Well, Nia, I am like always looking forward to whatever you put into the universe next, because you've put such beautiful, wonderful, soul-filling things. And I love your pivots. And I guess, I don't know. I really would love for everyone to be able to see tiny, beautiful things. So I hope that after this call, you text Tommy and say, hey, I was just talking to Busy. And when are we doing that?
I'm going to say, you know how men love to be told what to do. I'm going to do that.
I'm telling you, he would respond. He's going to love it. He's going to love it.
You know what I loved, by the way? When you were talking about brand endorsements, on how you said, this is how I'm making an income right now. Mm-hmm. I loved it. And I took one because of that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I
loved
nice.
it. See, this is why, but we don't know the messages that we send out and that people hear. So I just want you to hear it. Like I was like,
oh, that's
I want one of those. And so, it's on the nose. It's for Delta Greek yogurt. It's delicious.
I love Greek yogurt.
I love Greek yogurt.
Here's the thing.
Congratulations.
But when you said that, I was like, you know what? We are all trying to make ends meet right now. It doesn't matter what you do. Just do it with absolute, like, I'm really happy to be doing this. Why not? All of it.
Thrilled to be here.
That's amazing.
That's like I'm like always like grateful to be here. Glad to have a job.
Yeah. Okay.
Nia, you look so beautiful. I hope that, I know that we're still quarantining, but I hope someone is like making out with you hard tonight. Okay.
That would be good. That would be really good.
You deserve a little like make out sesh right now.
Oh, that makes me happy. Okay. But this is what I think. First of all, you have to say to yourself, like you've just been saying to me, you deserve it. And here's what I think. Every job that didn't work out is tile, right? It's a piece of tile and you lay it down. And one day you have enough tile and you walk across that bathroom floor to that job.
Ooh. You guys, I can't end on a better. That's no one say another word. That's it.
That's it.
That's you closed the show. We might not even have to do a third act. Yeah, I adore you. I'm so
right back
glad
at you.
to see
We love you.
It was so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for your art.
I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon, Laura. Okay. Thanks for coordinating. Okay, I'm so happy we had fun today. Bye. Now it's the awkward, where's the leave button?
Bye. Bye, Nia. Bye.
Bye, Casey. Nice to see you.
Nice
Bye.
to see you.
Bye.
Bye. Say cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Guys, obsessed with Nia.
She's so great.
Obsessed.
It was such a wonderful chat.
Really wonderful and like just the kindest person. And can you imagine? She just needs to be doing everything.
Yeah. I just really respect her so much because like I always tell everybody wants to buy you coffee and pick your brain. And like she really like save your money, like listen to her, what she said, and like make your own
podcast.
Yeah, truly, like save your money. You don't have to go pay somebody to pick their brain. Like she did it, and she was so successful. And like fucking like everyone's always looking for an easy way out. No, what she did was she sat down and she wrote it. The thing she believed in herself, and she did it. And I think that's fucking cool.
She's the best. Also, that was emotional. I felt like emotional. It was just, I don't know. I just love her.
Sure.
Yeah. It was so good.
Guys at home, I'm wearing my headphones in a really dumb way because my piercings are infected and they hurt. And I went to a derm yesterday and he was really nice, but he definitely said they were infected and it hurts. You guys, magic show is tomorrow.
Tonight.
No.
Tonight.
Shit.
It's tonight.
Guys, our magic show is tonight. I do want to say, Mark kind of always gives me shit because I'm always like, I was the first one. But like, guys, magic is all of a sudden having a moment. And I do want to say that I feel like if you are not at the magic show tonight, you might be bummed later.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
I
Also,
fuck with
I feel
magic
like-
so hard. I fucking love magic.
I love magic. Also, I feel like this may be the first of many magic shows, virtual magic.
That's fun to me. I love magic. I think it's so fun. And like, if you don't like magic, keep it to your fucking self.
Yep, that's right, guys. You know the rules. If you don't like magic, keep it to your fucking selves. Wait,
it makes sense though, Busy. I think you probably are, you're an influencer. Like you do that for a job.
I am an influencer.
Once you said magic is cool, that empowered other people who were like in the closet about loving magic to be like, yeah, I think magic's fucking cool.
Magic's
too.
real cool.
I love
Holy
magic.
shit,
My
you
friends
guys.
bought tickets. They're so excited. We fucking love magic.
You know, I posted about the In and of Itself show, the Derek DeGuardio show that I saw in person here in New York, and then they filmed it. Frank Oz directed it. It's like a documentary about the magic show, and it was available for a limited time through this like New York. Just a limited number of tickets were available through this New York Doc Fest, and then it's going to be on Hulu at the end of January. Yes, but he DM'd me. I really
A magician did?
Yeah, Derek, who's like that show. When I tell you, I was sobbing uncontrollably. Casey, did you ever see it? And
No, I haven't seen it. No.
Okay. I was, Shinchira, it's so up like your guys' fucking alley. I was sobbing uncontrollably at the show. Here, the one that I watched on TV. In person, I also was sobbing uncontrollably. But anyway, he DM'd me and then I kind of blew it because I was like, I would love for you to come on our podcast. And then he never responded again.
No.
But he did say that he did say thank you so much for posting because you like now it's sold. We sold all the tickets because you posted. And I was like, that's so nice. Also, will you come on my podcast? No response.
No.
He disappeared.
Magic.
He disappeared. But then Mark had a good point where he was like, maybe magicians don't really want to be on podcasts because what are you going to talk about?
They must remain mysterious.
Yeah,
They have to remain mysterious.
We don't want to know that he lives in Scranton or whatever. We just want him to just give us this sweet, sweet magic and let him live his life.
He just exists.
I love
Anyway, that show is so fucking amazing. So
I can't wait.
Set whatever alarm you need to set for the end of January. The In and of Itself is the name of it. Guys, the one thing that we didn't talk about that I just feel like we really need to come back to, and I need this, and I need you both to be here for me in this moment, is Ben Affleck's tiny baby mask.
What was what? It was literally a mask for a baby.
You guys, what's happening? Okay, so guys at home, did we talk about this when the podcast launched or not really?
I don't think
because we kind of just we have
sort of
just
talked
stayed
a little
away.
bit about.
We have.
We've talked a little bit about Ben and his We talked about how his girlfriend's always laughing. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I want to know jokes. And
If you're just joining the podcast, we three are obsessed with Ben Affleck and why he can't stay home. How much
Wearing his mask.
how much he loves Dunkin' Donuts, and why a mask
His iced coffee
is an impossible task for him.
Because he's not anti-mask. He's just he's kind of mask. He puts it on.
He
and
also
it's I think about when a kid has to wear a itchy sweater, and it's he has the mask on, but just enough for us not to be mad at him.
He clearly fucking hates it, right? But the way he's doing it looks so insane. If you haven't seen this picture, we're all going to post it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about Ben Affleck that is just deeply, deeply fascinating.
Yeah.
Because
he's just out in these streets, man.
I want to know what's going on in his head.
He's like, I'm gonna wear this mask, but I'm gonna wear it on my own terms. I am Batman.
You know what's so weird is at this job this week, one of the producers gave me a mask from her mask stash, and I put it on. And when I looked in the mirror, I was like, oh my God, my head is like a giant pumpkin head. This mask looks so small on me. And then later in the day, she was like, oh shoot, I gave you a children's mask. That's for my children. And so then she swapped it for an adult mask. And I was like, oh, okay, that's more like it. But I just want to say that when I was wearing that children's mask, it was in no way as small as the mask that Ben Affleck was wearing. It was like believable that I just have a pumpkin head, and that mask was slightly too small for me. But this thing that Ben Affleck was wearing was a miniature mask.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it defies logic. It's so insane.
But here's the thing. He had a mask on. And you know what? I'll take it. But it's so funny. He just
was covering his nose and mouth, which is more than we can say for a lot of people. People are always walking around with their noses hanging out. And he had them both covered, but just so barely covered.
Guys, it looks like a fucking pad. It looks like a
I love that.
What is he doing?
He's Batman. He's doing whatever he wants.
Where is he? Why, Ben? Remember, did I ever tell you guys about when I tried to talk to him about sitting next to each other at the Oscars? And he literally, oh my God. I was at a party at my friend's house, and it was a daytime event.
Yeah.
And he was there, and I whatever. Anyway, so it was probably I'm trying to think how many months after the Oscars, the Moonlight
debacle. Yeah.
Yes. Debacle. And there's the famous picture, and I was sitting next to him. I literally said to him, I was like, do something. You're Batman. Fucking do something.
You're Batman.
And yeah, truly, that's what I said. I was like, you're Ben Affleck. Do something. Fix it. Do it. And I think he was in a difficult period of time in his life, maybe at that moment in the Oscars situation. Anyway, we were at this daytime party, and we were kind of near each other, and And I was like, hey, I haven't seen you since the thing. And he looked at me and I was like, oh, he has no idea. Like that I was. And then I just kind of like backed away. Like I didn't know what to do. I was just like, he was like, oh yeah. I was like, okay,
I
great,
would want to
yeah.
talk about that all the time. I would want to talk about it with everybody. I would want to pull up the picture of all of our faces and be like, you're one of the faces that is connected to this thing. We have to talk about it. You guys should have a meeting, like a reunion every 10 years.
Yeah, I feel like he was just like, oh yeah, that was wild. And I was like, what?
That's always the worst moment when you like when you meet people that, you know, like, I don't know, they're people that know a lot of people. That moment where you have to decide when you run back into someone if they will remember having met you and having this experience with you and will expect you to say something to them, or if they don't remember at all that you.
Oh my God.
There.
Oh, so much Eric Gurian talk on this show.
But it's Moonlight.
It's Moonlight. Right. No, he wasn't rude. Just to be clear, he was not rude to me at all.
He was just so chill about it.
He just it felt like he was like, oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, what? No, it was okay. Yeah. I mean, right. Yeah. So weird.
You got to find somebody else.
Bye.
You got to find somebody else who wants to talk about it. Because if I was there, we would have had a steak dinner over it.
Yeah. Like our friend Eric was telling with the election, and we were on set, and everybody was like sharing their horror stories of, you know, the 2016 election and where they were and whatever. And he was like, he happened to be in some viewing party room with like a famous chef, and they like locked eyes a few times, and then like fully 2 years later was walking down the street, and the famous chef was like, hey, 2016, and like pointed at him, like, and you know, that's the thing, like you like
you
trauma
have
bond.
to do that.
You like trauma bond with people, and you want them to be.
You have to.
Yes.
We always talk about it, but it's like when you're on the fucking subway and somebody does something wild, and you have to. When you guys happen to get off at the same stop, and it's like, we're gonna talk about this for 5 minutes, and then we're gonna disappear into ether. Like if I was anybody in that picture, that infamous Moonlight picture, I'd be like, hey, remember when we was just chilling and then that happened? What the fuck? I would talk about it all the time. I'm disappointed. That he's not as excited.
I had to say I was disappointed as well. And then I also was like, you know what? He's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
He's probably thinking about Dunkin'. He's probably thinking about when his next Dunkin' iced coffee is. He was I don't know.
He just has a lot happening. And I'm sure he totally remembered it. And I'm sure he totally remembered it after the fact. But maybe it just, you know, sometimes when someone brings something up to you and your like head isn't in that space and you're like, oh, what? Oh, I guess.
I think the Moonlight gets a pass. Moonlight gets a pass. Moonlight gets a fucking pass. It's not like you were at a baseball game and the ball hit your car. This is like a thing that is iconic. We all know it. Like, Busy, I know what your face looked like the moment it happened. You know what I'm saying? So like, he doesn't get a pass on that. Everybody else does.
Yeah, I mean, and even like just, I don't even know. Like just as like, yeah, like I just, the sort of nonchalance about it is what, in that moment, to me, I was like, well, that's weird. You don't even think that was like the craziest, most fucked up thing I don't know, whatever. Anyway, maybe back to Ben and his tiny mask.
It's wild out here. It's wild out here, Ben. Get a bigger mask. But we appreciate you wearing one.
I may blow those up for you guys for Christmas presents. Pictures of Ben. That may be I maybe just spoiled your Christmas presents.
Here's the thing. I'll put it up because I think it is funny.
Because I think we all just need like a 5x7. How do we get the rights to that paparazzi photo and just put it on our merch? I would fucking wear that sweatshirt.
Would you wear a mask with that on, with a picture of Ben Affleck's mask on it?
Yes, I would. Oh my God. It's all I want now. Oh, for God's sakes. Can I just make one for me? We don't even have to sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make it.
But will the paparazzi sue me?
Yes.
No.
They do.
The worst they could do is give you a cease and desist and ask you not to wear that mask anymore.
Here's the thing. You can make one for yourself. You can't sell it. Yeah. You can make anything for yourself.
I believe that a paparazzi would be very grateful to have an influencer like Busy Phillips wearing their pap shot on their mask.
It depends. They do be suing.
We gotta look up who this guy is. I'm gonna look him up and see if he's a paparazzi I've ever come across.
You probably know him.
Well, listen, we'll see. And I want to see if maybe we could. How dope would those shirts be? We've already, guys. Just so you know, for the podcast, a merch. We are hard at work. It is
happening.
It's happening. Did we want to get it up this week? Is it happening this week?
I want to get it up this week because, like, Black Friday, you know?
Guys, Black Friday.
I want everyone
Christmas presents
to stay home on Black Friday and buy things from our merch.
Oh, yeah, guys. I hope you're all staying home. I hope you're, like, all
taking care of yourselves.
Taking care of yourselves. And, I mean, look, I got to tell you something. I heard from BFF Michelle that, like, they thought they were seeing family. They decided, whatever. Everybody's been tested and we've all been tested. And I was like, but still, I think we're just going to stay by ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, just because, fuck it, man. I don't know. And I hate this all. And I want this pandemic to be over. We need to find out who this paparazzi is that took this photo. There's also a Diet Coke in here. I mean, there's so much. I can't tell which picture I like the best. Anyway, our merch is coming. I love it. We've worked so hard. I mean, that's relative.
They've worked hard, but also we've had a lot of opinions, and sometimes that is hard work too.
And I do want to say, I think what you guys are going to love the most. I ran this by BFF from high school, Chrissy B. Chrissy, who's the podcast's #1 fan. That there are going to be ways that you get to, like, it's going to be kind of customizable what saying speaks to you.
Yes.
On your merch. So it doesn't necessarily, maybe doing your best doesn't speak to you, or AKA it's on a billion different other fucking t-shirts and sweatshirts already. But maybe there's another saying that maybe does.
Yeah.
Take it to the group chat.
It resonates with you. Yeah.
Take it to the group chat. It's never just about snow babies. We have the numbers for good.
Whatever you need to get you through. That's what we're trying to do.
Human penny. I want all our merch. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We'll let you know as soon as it's live. We'll, just look out on everybody's Instagram, I guess, because we'll let you know as soon as it's possible to get on there.
Social media.
And order some stuff.
Oh, wait, guys, here's a good question. Oh, wait, we need more fan mail / question advice, people. People miss it.
You can email us at busydoingherbest@gmail.com and send us some questions if you'd like some advice, and we'll resume doing that maybe next week.
Yeah. You guys, here's a question from Sarah Bareilles right now via text.
I love her.
This is not for the podcast, but I'm going to ask her, and I think it will be. Do you think you want dimmers everywhere in a house? Or I just got a quote for regular switches, but now I don't know what I need. This is a great question.
I don't want dimmers everywhere in the house, but I do want light bulbs that are controlled by my phone. Which technically is a dimmer.
I want dimmers in the living room
and dining room.
In the dining room and the bedroom. But for kitchen, hallway, bath, full bright lights.
Wait, bath, I go dim. Because I like a moody motherfucking bath.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think that for the bathroom, again, I am this is not even a plug. I am a fan of a Philips Hue. So depending on what's going on in your life,
I'm sorry, what?
A Philips Hue light.
Philips
what is that?
Hue light.
You can make your lights any level, any color,
what?
anything. Yeah, so I can just put like purple lights in my kitchen, or it's all controlled by your phone. You can come up with, you know how you love sunsets? You can take a picture of a sunset and ask your Philips Hue bulbs to mimic that sunset in your room.
You guys, are you making this up?
No. And then you can set it for sunrise. So like if you are in a room that doesn't have a lot of natural light or isn't facing the sun, it will brighten in the morning the same way a sunrise will, and it will lightly wake you up. So if you're not doing dimmer switches, I'm a big fan of a Philips Hue. You can also set it so that when it plays music, the colors change based on the type of music that you're playing.
Yes. Oh, yeah. You can coordinate it with your music to like pulse with your music. All kinds of different things.
Guys, do either of you have these?
Yeah, I got them in my house.
I have them, but somebody who did the nice task of moving us across the country left them in our house for the renters.
Dang.
And so I have to get them over again, and they are a little pricey.
They're expensive. They're like $45 a bulb.
Yeah. So
I'm looking it up right now. You guys, this is not one of our ads.
No, but on Friday, now that I'm in a bigger apartment, on Friday, I'm going to get more because I'm going to put some behind my TV. I'm going to put some in my room. I fucking
you can get
love
strips. You can get bulbs. You can get all kinds of different things.
Love it. So that's what I tell her. Like, get a Philips Hue, put it in the room, see if she likes the dim before she goes home.
The little hub.
And get a tester if she wants to try
that. I am getting this shit right now. I'm ordering all of it, all of it, all of it.
Wait till Black Friday. See if there's a sale. They always,
man, you're the smartest.
They're like 30% off every year. That's when I buy them.
I don't even know where you go for Black Friday sales. Have you guys ever fucked with Black Friday sales like in person? My sister does it, you know.
No, absolutely not. No.
Have you ever heard? Did Leanne talk about it when we were on Busy Tonight?
Yes,
it's
how
so
she would
funny.
like plan it out with like the flyers.
It's insane.
Yeah,
She's a super couponer.
Yeah, yes. I couldn't. I have too much anxiety. I would rather pay $100 for one plain white T-shirt than to deal with that. And I would pay any amount of money.
I'll pay double not to go to Black Friday.
Just to have not be touched by another person. I just
don't want to get punched in the face because I had a job once where I got punched in the face a lot, and I feel like I don't want to do that anymore.
Who punched you in the face? I'm going to punch them in the face.
When I worked in that nursing home, people punched me in the face pretty much every day.
People, though.
Yes. But some old people are really strong.
They are strong.
Like,
they're small but strong as hell.
I've gone through enough face punching where I don't want to do it.
This is so dark. Just like I've been punched in the face so many times, you guys, by old people.
Babies and old people are so strong. Babies will fuck up. They'll fuck up your face. Babies and old people will fuck up your face.
I mean, babies do fuck up your face.
Yeah, they bite you, scratch you, straight up. Open hand slap you. Have you ever been open hand slapped by a baby? It's fucked up. Also, you can't do what are you gonna do? You can't say anything.
You can't.
No.
You can't just be like slap them back. It's just like you just got to take your ass whooping.
Yeah. Also, like
it's a power move.
It is a power move. They know you can't do anything.
They're the only people who can like open slap you in front of people. You can just be out and a baby will like slap you and you just be like, I have to take this in front of company.
All right, guys. Well, listen, I don't know. I could just kind of talk all day, I guess, but I suppose that's probably not the vibe.
Well, because we haven't seen each other in a long time, and it's like, it's the time for talking.
Yeah,
right?
I am. Oh no, I'm gonna cry. She ends. I cried so much this weekend. Holy shit. I can't talk about it, but I did cry a lot. But I did get real sad about family stuff and not getting to see my parents.
Yeah.
And that it's going to be a really long time before I get to see my family again. And like,
it's really hard.
It's really hard. So I just want to say for anyone out there, we get it. We love you. FaceTime people, reach out to people. And maybe if you're like, this is fully my vibe and I hate being around people anyway, that's chill. But think about people in your life who maybe are not feeling great and reach out to those people.
Need to hear from you.
You know,
and
just
also,
like, what's up? I sent my mom flowers today, and
Aw.
she just texted me while we were doing this, and she was
Aw.
I love
like,
that.
the most beautiful Thanksgiving flowers, Elizabeth. Thank you.
And also, if you don't really have anybody and you're wishing that you did, say hey on Instagram or whatever, and let us know what's happening, and we'll definitely say hey back. Because
Casey is really good at communication. I'm not the best at it, but
Me
you are
neither.
really good at it.
I like don't. If you've ever sent me a message, please. I'm so sorry. Like I don't check those messages all the time. I respond sometimes, but then sometimes it's too hard.
yeah, but we're there and we definitely see it, and we love when you guys say hi. So do that, and I will at least say hello.
And also, I will too sometimes. But also, I do want to say, guys, I know that like the internet gets a lot of, rightfully, it's trash fire.
Yeah.
But I do love so much about it in terms
Me
of
too.
making, like, bringing us as, being able to give us a sense of community and like friends. And I just think my internet friends are my real friends. They've become, some of them, my closest friends ever.
Yeah.
And like,
It's fun.
just
The
now,
internet's
like-
fun.
we're like we share a backyard fence with a family, and the woman and I were internet friends for a few years. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
And her kid and Cricket are not only the same age, they're now in the same pod together in their new school, in the girls' new school. And so like I like weirdly this somebody that was like just an internet friend is now not just a real life friend, but also like one of the only people that I can see and that my kid can see because of the pod situation at our kids' school. I mean, we still wear masks and sit outside, but like it's amazing. You never fucking know what these relationships could turn into with people. You just always have to be open. So we love you.
Maybe we'll see you tonight at our magic show.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
Maybe
Take
we'll
care
see
of
me
yourselves.
tonight. We don't even know. Fingers crossed.
Yes.
There might be a couple tickets left if you didn't get your ticket yet. But if not, or if you're not coming to the magic show, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. I also think we should just retire Thanksgiving altogether. But whatever. That's a whole conversation for another day.
Yeah. That's for the next
true.
part. Have a day off and eat. Unless you work retail, don't let anybody slap you.
That's right.
There you
Don't
go.
let anybody open face slap you unless they're a baby.
Unless it's a baby. We love you. Goodbye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.